Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. If you're from the short, you have a backstory. If not, the word was metal. And then our supporting angel number card, past is present. So we have to go back a bit. So things came together here. But in the beginning, when I was trying to film that short, I couldn't speak. I couldn't get the words together. It wasn't making sense. I had a direction. Okay, we got metal. Strong, but we can also melt it and we can reform it, reshape it. We pour it into a mold uh, and it turns into what we want. The past, you know, we're looking at the past as yes, it may have molded us into who we are, but we came to a place of a transition that we choose to change our form. Uh, like I said in the beginning, I just couldn't get my words together. I couldn't speak. Now, granted, there was a bit of a distraction that involved the past. And I also noticed how noisy it was outside. It was very noisy, not like normal. So distraction again. Then at one point during the when I really couldn't speak anymore, I was like, okay, I'll get some Palo Santo and try to clear myself. Well, halfway through the video, I started seeing these floating like black worms, in my, they were real, they weren't fake. But what actually took place was, uh, if you ever use Palo Santo, sometimes it puts off a black smoke. And the smoke actually, probably the humidity, it liquefied itself into a form. So that was, more of a confirmation on this process of reshaping ourselves. If we look back on one of the videos I did involved, the process, several processes of healing, dark nights of the soul, and there was a stage of the volcano. I think it was an ink blot, and in that stage, if we would picture being in a volcano, like it's lava, and if we're in there, our body, let's just picture our body. Well, there's going to be nothing left because it would have melted, and all I saw in there was, our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. We were liquefied, and then we came out of that process and we gained form again. We reshaped, we reformed. This is probably the same kind of process, the same kind of message, or maybe if that one resonated with you, this one will as well. Granted, there was a lot of, I could feel a spirit during that earlier video here that I just did this morning, when the smoke took form again. There's definitely a lot of support, and there wasn't just, one, it was multiple supports. Uh, I'm going to connect here, see if we see anything, and we'll pull some cards. If it resonates, feel free to like or comment, and if it doesn't, don't make it fit. This might be a little loud, so you may want to turn your volume down. A big thing is distractions. Okay, so I just said how the past, you know, was being a bit of a distraction. And I couldn't speak. I couldn't form anything. I was stuck, or I thought I was stuck. Maybe it's because of my view that it had to go away that I thought it had to go. But once I went with it, I started to get more reassurances, confirmation that, hey, yeah, you can speak. You are going in the right direction. I don't know if this actually relates to you in the matter of speaking. Maybe you want to speak your voice, or your opinion, or reinforce your boundaries, and you're afraid of how that's going to work. Is it going to be accepted properly? What's going to happen? And what's coming, or what was coming through, is just begin and go with it, and things unfold, and we're going to get those reassurances. Granted, a lot of times there's a lot of crow action here, if you can hear it, but granted, in times, we want that reassurance to make sure that we're taking the right step, or it's going to be okay, and that would make us feel comfortable to do it. And in life, we have to do it on our own to prove that I do believe in myself. I do have the confidence to do this. And then we get the reassurance. I know it's nice to have it beforehand because then we'll feel safe and comfortable. But we need this beforehand. I mean, we need to generate it in ourselves. All right, we'll see what's coming through here. The crow's kind of still stuck in my mind here, and it's coming off like really bashful, was shy. It was grooming itself a little bit in the very beginning, but then it's nervous, it's shy. Uh, I felt like there was another group of birds, but I don't see them. I just felt it, and this crow that I'm seeing is very the word bashful. Like, guess they're afraid of being rejected naturally. But will you accept me for me? You know who I am. I don't know if this is a relationship. I just think it's in general, which any relationship doesn't have to be romantic as a relationship. But very, I don't want to say like paranoid or nervous. It is, I'm trying to think, bashful. We think of, uh, it is shy. They want the approach to know that it's okay, type of feeling, which would be confirmation, like we spoke of here in the beginning. Maybe if it is relationship based, we went through some toxic situations and we've learned from them and we've remolded ourselves. We've came to a place of understanding ourselves, our wounds. We've healed what we could heal, and uh, we want that confirmation. We don't, rejection. I would just stick with the relationship here. I mean, rejection does hurt. It does. Uh, Often we say, rejection is redirection. So walking into things, it doesn't make that feeling go away. It's still, oh, you didn't like me, I'm not good enough. It's still a real feeling. You know, that doesn't matter. Even if you thought you were uh, good enough for someone, or even possibly, above their level, uh, it it still hurts. Even to be rejected by less than, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, I wasn't good enough. I'm not good enough for you. And if we're in that mindset, that's going to uh, keep us in the past. It could take us back to a wound. Maybe we had relationships before that really emphasize that. Maybe that is the wound. And during this process, metal is very strong. Of course, we can look at it as boundaries and structure and foundation, which naturally resolving this wound would be uh, reinforcing ourselves, that we don't need that external to constantly validate ourselves, that we can do that internally. Uh, Maybe every time we are rejected, whether work related, if we're looking for a job, or dating in general, or people in general, we say something and we're excited about it, or we have an idea and it's rejected, uh, it takes us back to that wound, even though we think we've healed it, or we think we have an ironclad foundation. What else do we have here, Spirit? 666. That came up yesterday. Six of Cups reversed. Release. Naturally, I initially wanted to say the past because that's what is always needed to release. But it's feeling more like this fear of the memories, you know? I made a video yesterday that touched on uh, like carrying pain and being in a place of, you know, here we're talking about rejection and whatnot. Uh, Obviously, if we walk into everything expecting that, we can create that. That's how if that's how we feel inside, we're going to mirror that out, and we're going to feel that way. Uh, just being okay with the saying rejection is redirection isn't enough. I mean, I'll admit that. I've heard that plenty of times, and it's not fair to constantly be feeling that. So it needs to be fixed in here. We are really still feeling that in here. And if we need the proof, which would be some type of validation in the real world, whether in a person or through a job or acquiring of some sort of item or maybe a loan, who knows? Uh, we're gonna we're gonna be holding ourselves back there a bit because we don't feel it in here, and we need that validation, and we might really be trying to get that validation. And the more we're trying because we need that to feel safe, we need to look at our foundation or our form. Uh, Working on that, granted, releasing the past, yeah, that's easier said than done because we're still hanging on to it. What do we have to look at here, Spirit? Five of Wands, clashed interests. First thing that's coming to mind is that I've heard this plenty of times, not everybody's going to like us. Whether you or me, we're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And getting to a place that, do I really want somebody in my experience that isn't my cup of tea? Do I really want somebody that is secretly jealous or envious of me and wears a face and acts like they like me or loves me and then turns around and talks shit on me? Do I want that? Do I want somebody that is emotionally unavailable if we're looking at a relationship, or emotionally unstable, doesn't know what they want, is just passing time, is using me, is a cheater? Do I want that? No, I don't think we do. you know so understanding I am amazing, or I am this uh, good crop, if we will. I don't know why that came through. I'm a good seed, and I deserve a good seed. Well, to be honest, there's a lot of people that aren't in that place. We all, I often, well, I personally believe that we only find the people uh, to deeply interact with that are on the same level as we are. Whether we are very unhealed and have very toxic behaviors, we would find someone that is that. You know, if we are very healed and we have seen ourselves and we have boundaries and we respect ourselves, we're only going to find somebody that, uh, if we have healed that, is that. If we haven't, you're going to find somebody that's going to press up against it. It's all about these wounds. That's my personal belief. And if we really look into things, it does prove true. Now, there was something else. It's gone. We'll leave it be. Uh, I think you should be at a place that you want to unapologetically be yourself. We don't want to have to be on eggshells. We don't have to want to wear a mask. You know, we want to say what we want to say, and that be okay. You know, talking about different ideas in society in general, and if those things are clashing, do you really want to have to hold your tongue and not be able to say what you want to say, or be whoever you want to be in a relationship, walking on eggshells? I don't think so. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So, I don't know where you're at on your healing journey, and it doesn't have to be termed that way, but we go through life and things come up and we choose whether to deal with them or not. And if we heal them, I'll call that a healing journey. That's part of the milestone. Hey, I healed this, I moved on, I became this, now I went through the forge, I reforged myself. I would like to think more people do it than not, but I don't think there are a ton of people that do. Uh, I mean, like really deep healing, to come to a further evolution. Now, that being said, that limits the pool very small. So it's also coming to this like place of understanding that uh, you're going to be a lot different than the majority of people out there. And you're like, well, is that choice even a good choice? Because, I want this or that, but I don't fit into anything else now because I'm this. And uh, that's also being okay with, I don't want to say being alone like that's your future, but finding that peace and joy in your own company. Two of Pentacles, equilibrium. Granted, we are here in uh, the world, Earth, if we will, and balancing that. We spend too much time in the spirituality, we can't handle Earth. We spend too much time in the Earth aspect, we don't have any connection to ourselves or spirituality or whatever you want to call it. We don't have having that balance and being able to mingle. It's a level of understanding, from my experience. Granted, I wouldn't accept, toxic or less than situations, but we gotta be in it. We're here. King of Pentacles, reliability. First thing that came through was like uh, having a job and being in the system and having to pay those things. Like we have to be in it. We're here. We have to take part in surviving. We have to pay our bills. We have to eat. We have to, you know, be a part of that aspect. We can't just, it would be nice, but we're here and it's for a reason. Uh, Something was coming through the other day that uh, I don't fully remember it, but it had to do with uh, your healing and being out there and interacting with others, however that may look, is really important for other individuals. Uh, there was an important part there that I'm forgetting, but it had more to do with, when we heal, like I'll use myself as an example. If I'm healed or healing or doing things and I present myself that I've done this, it is helping others to see that I can do this too. Uh, but it's this energetic ripple effect. Like I don't have to physically yell it out. It is just energetically. And by you doing this through, yourself, through your process, is doing more than you really know. And we may look at it like, I get this reward, something physical out of it. And I think that all does come when we embody this space that, hey, I'm here. I know what I accomplished and I see things. And I mean, that's deep, but very limited when I say I see things. Like I can see the bigger picture. I can see all this. And by you going through this process is helping a lot of people. And I don't know if this is specific to this part, but in that time when this was coming through, it had to do with someone else, like a partner. Like by you doing this, it triggers their process and it's a happy experience for both of you. Page of Wands reversed. Recklessness. For most of the time when I see this card, I shouldn't say all the time, but it is people from our past viewing our choices or our behaviors or our thought patterns as reckless. That is always a pull on your path. There's a lot of resistance there. You're doing things differently, and uh, they don't see the reasoning. They can't make sense of it. Maybe there's people we have to pull away from. Maybe if we're still dealing with these, we're in a place that we feel that we need to over explain ourselves. We'll try to get them to understand. They're not going to be able to because they're not there. They're not on that frequency. They can't see it. Coming to peace with that, I feel like I'm getting this like feeling of how people feel when they go to, like a family holiday meal, and you just have to deal with it and dumb yourself down to get through. And it's like, why do I even do this? Because like you gotta, yeah, I mean, it sounds bad, but you gotta dumb yourself down to talk on their level because you can't talk. And then this is getting into like all of society, fitting in and getting through things. And like, you want to help people, but they don't want to help themselves. So why waste your breath? But sometimes you can't help it. It's like this balancing act of uh, understanding, understanding why and the process in a whole. We're gonna leave that there. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. It was all over the place, but there's something there from the past, distractions that we need to let go of. I'm gonna leave that there. Anyway, I think I already said that. If you liked it, feel free to like or comment, and I will talk to you all later.